So I finally got a day off, slept in, slept a little too long actually. I don't feel so great. You'd think sleeping a long time would make you feel really good, but that's only if you hadn't experienced it and knew that it actually makes you feel like crap. But enough about little old me. I got on the YouTubes, and I thought I'd see how the pesky dames were doing, so I typed in those pesky dames, comma, today. And I saw that people are still mirroring their videos, and this is such a unstoppable juggernaut, I thought I myself should do another Pesky Dames video. So here we go.
So, feminism and ableism. This week we saw the kickoff of the Paralympics.
I'm sorry, the what?
The Paralympics.
I don't know what you're fucking saying. I hope it'll become apparent from the context as you continue.
And unsurprisingly, we also saw a lot of people being dicks about the athletes involved.
Young lady, you have just made a gendered slur. What you're doing is implying that dicks are somehow inherently bad, and being a dick, by extension, is a bad thing. Your angry misandry is as apparent as it is sickening.
So we all definitely need to sit down and have a chat about ableism. Let's do this.
Ding 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 ding. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was Bionic Dance.
Those who are familiar with the feminist community will not be surprised to hear me say that it does have a lot of faults.
Wow, I'm shocked to hear you say that. Please go on.
Namely that mainstream feminism for many, many years since it came into being has mainly been interested in liberating white, middle-class, cisgendered feminists and screw everybody else.
I am so proud of you. You've correctly perceived an aspect of reality. Say, if you tell me next that you don't believe in the patriarchy, I will dump the Femitheist divine for you like that. Krista, I'm lying to her 'cause she's dumb and pretty. You know she ain't got nothing on you.
This is clearly really shit, because if you only care about a tiny privileged cross-section of women, you're not really caring about all women, are you?
I'm caring about the women. That is what's important.
Sadly, feminism often tends to leave out women who are differently abled or disabled or have mental health problems, etc.
One, I don't know what differently abled means. Like, I have one eye, but I also have psychokinesis, so does that make me differently abled? Also, that is a bold-faced lie to say that feminism excludes women with mental health issues. It's pretty much the precise polar opposite of the truth.
I've used ableist language in the past without even realising that what I was saying was really offensive and exclusionary.
This reminds me of those religious people that say, I was once a dumb atheist like you. I was just rebelling against my parents and God, but now I done found me some Jesus, and I know better, and I'm gonna try to help you, you poor, clueless son of a bitch.
And I constantly have to remind myself and check myself to try and ensure that, I'm not a massive dickhead and I'm not making the community a really crappy place for some people. You might be sat there thinking, I'm so not ableist, I don't understand what she's talking about.
Jen, can I call you Jen? I wasn't going to bring up your ableism, but I'm going to do a little impression. Tell me who this is. Look at me, I have two eyes. I can perceive all kinds of dimensions. My face is utterly fucking symmetrical with no gross deformities. Bully for me. That's you. Your ableism is shocking.
So let's recap on some really commonly used ableist terms. Firstly, retarded. If I ever see or hear you say this, I will instantly just stop listening to you.
Actually, I like that you prepare beforehand, meaningless excuses to stop listening to people. Most feminists, they'll just stop listening and then, ex post facto, come up with some retarded excuse.
As you've really just revealed to the entire world what a massive arsehole you are. 2. Stupid. People say this all the time, and here is a really handy link explaining why stupid can be considered an ableist concept.
I can totally understand why you would not be comfortable with people just throwing the word stupid around, especially if they're doing so accurately.
I also think people often use the word stupid in a really classist way. Bully for you that you got a great and expensive education. Not everybody gets to do that.
Well, Jen, it looks like we're best friends once more because I never use it in that classist way. For instance, Jen, I wouldn't call you stupid, but let's just say you're not very bright, okay? And I don't mean that in a classist way, because, hey man, I didn't go to grade school, or primary school as you'd probably call it, or high school for that matter. No fancy education. I did go to college, but it's not like my parents paid for that shit. No, I had to do that myself. Anyway, maybe I don't have a privileged education, but here I am, smarter than you. I would even go one step further and say, you know what? You middle-class first-worlders, you're generally not terribly bright, because if you have all of these people encouraging you to learn and taking information and breaking it down and explaining it to you in a laborious fashion so you don't ever have to synthesize your own thoughts, you people generally aren't terribly bright, because if you never have to actually use your mind to accumulate knowledge and then splice it all together into a worldview, I mean, why would your brain have any ability to do that? It's like somebody who's never moved, expecting to be strong. I'm just saying, Jen.
Thirdly, lame. I'm guilty of saying this, and it's a really, really crappy thing to do. Lame in the past has often been used to mean people who walk with a limp of similar, and using this in a negative context equates a physical disability with being bad or uncool.
Actually, if you were at all familiar with language, you would realize that it comes from the idea of a horse coming up lame in a race, which is to say, there was a desired outcome on the part of this horse, but it fell far short of that, through no fault of its own. So, when you say something or someone is lame, what you're saying is a valiant attempt, but wah 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 wah.
And that is obviously a really shitty thing to do. It's really not my place to be sat here and lecturing you all about
You keep saying sat when you should be saying sitting. Are you retarded?
ableism. I've never been on the receiving end of it because I do have able-bodied privilege.
Just when I thought the use of the word privilege couldn't get more ridiculous.
And I don't want to sit here and talk over people.
You know, I talk over people when you can just wipe what they say from existence. Aw, snap.
I am now going to provide you with some awesome links in the description bar. And to all able-bodied people watching this, do your reading. It is your responsibility to educate yourself about this, and it is your responsibility to keep your privilege in check.
How ironic that you should say that, because you just assume right out of the gate that everybody can read with great ease. What about all of those differently abled dyslexic people? For them it might not be a walk in the park to just read through all your bullshit. But you don't even think of that, because once again your ableism is sickening. Well, you have you a nice day, Jen, and I'll just see how long it takes you to flag this.